Hey, Math 33. I was assigned number 1 for 10.8 and 10.9. So we first are asked to derive the Laplace transform, and we know that that is the limit as epsilon approaches 0 of the Laplace of d sub epsilon of t minus a, which we also know then just becomes that limit from when it is 0 to infinity of e to the negative st d sub epsilon t minus a. And working along, we know that d sub epsilon of t minus a is just this, so we can plug that in right there. But when working between a and a plus epsilon, that just turns into the constant 1 over epsilon, which makes things a lot easier for us right there. So we can take the integral of that and get this. And evaluating on that, we have the limit as epsilon approaches 0 of 1 over epsilon negative 1 over s e to the negative s times a plus epsilon minus e to the negative sa. Since we're working with epsilon, e to the negative sa over s is just a constant, so we can pull that out. And then it's the limit as e approaches 0 of 1 minus e to the negative s epsilon over epsilon. But we know that writing that as s e to the negative s epsilon, that as that approaches 0, that's just going to make e go to 1. So all we're left with is s, is s, and that will cancel right here with s. So we know that the Laplace transform is just equal to e to the negative sa, and that is going to help us with part 2. So we're given the equation, and we have our initial values here. And one thing to note is that because it's t minus 4 over pi, that is going to, I believe that's pi over 4, actually, that's a typo, I believe. Then that's going to be our a value, is just pi over 4. So taking Laplace, we have s squared, Laplace of y, minus s y naught, minus y1 naught, minus 4s Laplace of y, plus 4y naught, plus 13 Laplace of y, equals, and we know from part A that it's just e to the negative pi over 4s. So if we collect everything together, we have s squared minus 4s plus 13 Laplace of y, minus, plugging in our y naught and our y prime naught, minus 15s plus 12 equals e to the negative pi over 4s. This is, now we're just kind of doing standard stuff from the past. I just subtracted to the other side, getting ready to divide. Then we divide over, separate it out because we have, when we have, it gets a little funky when we have our e to the negative pi over 4s. I was trying to do PDF, and then I realized I did not need to, because with our rules that we know, this actually works out a lot better than it could have, than it looks like it did. So we can complete the square in the denominator and realize that we have what will eventually turn into a sign, because this is plus 4 and 9 plus, originally was 13, and 9 plus 4 is 13, so that works out. Since we have a 3 on top and we should have a 1, we have to multiply by the 1/3. That'll come in play later. And now to do this big guy, we're going to do the same thing. Our 3 over s minus 2 quantity squared plus 9. We have 6 there, and that'll be 18. that comes into play because over here, we need to get our cosine, we need to have s over 2 in the numerator because our formula states that the numerator has to be equal to whatever's being squared. But to make that happen, that has to be multiplied by 15 because 18 minus 30 is negative 12. And then obviously 15 times s is 15, so we match what is up here. So we're golden in that area, in that aspect. And now we can actually take our inverse Laplace. So we have our mu sub pi over 4, and I pulled out the 3. Then working our way through here, we know we have to have our e to the 2 in front because that is our value right there. But since we are working in the confines of that e to the negative pi over 4, it's going to be t times t minus pi over 4 with our substitution there. And then likewise with our sine of 3, it's going to be sine of 3, not sine of 3t, but sine of 3t minus pi over 4. And then all of that over 3. Then now we're no longer working with that, so we don't have to substitute that anymore. But same thing, where it's based on this, it's sine 3t multiplied by our 6 and our e to the 2t. Again, no substitutions needed, so we can just keep that as t. And then with our s minus 2 over s minus 2 quantity squared plus 9, that's a cosine, as we know. And that is going to be multiplied by 15, as we already did. And obviously e to the 2t coming from that a of 2. And so that is our final product. Thank you very much.